self-made looking animations like this can stop people scrolling and gain millions of views, but you don't need to cut out hundreds of paper pieces to make one. In this tutorial, I'll show you how I built this full paper cutout animation inside Lovart, starting with AI-generated images, editing the design directly on the canvas, and then turning those scenes into a finished animated short. Let's get into it. The link in the description will bring you straight to the Lovart homepage. Once you've signed up, you can start creating straight away. For this project, I'm going to select GPT Image 2 from the model picker here, and below that, Lovart gives you a selection of prompting templates, which are really useful if you need a bit of inspiration, or if you want to take one of these, customize it, and use it as a starting point for your own project. But for this animation, we're going to start by creating a simple opening title scene that establishes the visual style for the full piece. So instead of starting with a complicated prompt, I'm asking for a wide paper cutout scene with a textured background, colorful handmade shapes, arrows, mountains, plants, stars, abstract details, a small paper cut character, and the title, Accessing Flow State, in the center. These are some of the visual elements I plan to reuse throughout the full composition, so this first image gives us a strong foundation to build from. As you can see, once the image is generated, it opens directly inside the Lovart canvas. And this is where Lovart starts to feel very different from a standard AI image generator, because the image isn't just a final output. It becomes something we can keep working with. From here, we can speak directly to the agent, organize the project on the canvas, make edits, generate new scenes, and eventually turn those scenes into video. So let's open the chat and configure a few things before we continue. Initially, I'm going to make sure this section is set to agent, which allows Lovart to dynamically generate results based on the prompt. But I'm also going to lock in the models I want to use for this project. For images, I'll be using GPT Image 2. And for video generation later on, I'll be using Seedance 2.0. Now, before we move on, there's one change I want to make to this opening image. I prefer the word activating instead of accessing, so I'm going to click on the image and select the Edit Text function. As you can see, Lovart identifies the text inside the image, which means I can change the wording directly and rerun the edit without having to rebuild the whole image from scratch. And there we go, same visual style, but with the updated title. Now let's move on to the next scene. I'll open the agent chat again, and the first line I'm going to add is really important. Take style reference from, then I can click on the opening image, and Lovart will reference that image inside the chat. This means the agent can use it as visual context for the next generation. From here, I can describe the next scene I want to create. For example, create a 16:9 image of a dark gray paper-cut figure sitting at a desk, looking overwhelmed. Around the character include scattered mobile phones, clocks, thought bubbles, and other visual symbols of distraction. The scene should show the character trying to work while surrounded by noise and interruption, while keeping the same handmade paper cutout style as the reference image. As you can see, the agent analyzes the image we referenced and continues the generation using GPT Image 2. Once the image has generated, you can make adjustments if needed. I found the quick edit function really handy here. For example, you could ask Lovart to zoom out slightly from the character so we can see more of the full body sitting at the desk. And this is the benefit of having the canvas and agent working together. You're not just generating isolated images, you're building a connected sequence and refining it as you go. So now that we're creating multiple scenes, it's a good idea to start organizing everything. You can hold Shift on your keyboard, select the images you want to keep, and then set them to auto layout. This is one of the features I really liked, because while you're still iterating on the individual frames, you can keep everything organized as a rough timeline for the final composition. You can even press play to get a quick sense of how the sequence is starting to flow before we move into animation. At this point, it's a good idea to create a skill based on the actions we have just taken. Create a new chat, turn thinking mode on, and repeat the same process of generating an image. Once you've completed the task, create a skill based on the actions just taken. Now we have a repeatable skill that can be accessed whenever we want to create this style of image. From here, continue the same process until you have all the keyframes for your final video. Now starts the fun bit. Let's start animating these scenes. For this section, I'm going to switch from Agent to the video generator and then change the model to Seedance 2.0. The reason I'm switching into the video generator is that it gives me more control over how the final animation is created. Inside the settings, I'm going to choose frames, which allows me to set a start frame and an end frame for the generation. I can also choose the aspect ratio, resolution, and duration in seconds. For this project, I kept everything in 16:9, and for the audio settings, I set audio to on. One thing I found really important was to tell the model not to add music or voiceover. Otherwise, you can end up with different clips having random voices or background music, which doesn't really work when you're stitching the full sequence together. So for the first transition, I'm going to select the start frame, which in this case is the blank canvas, and then select the end frame, which is the opening title scene. Then in the prompt, I'll describe how I want the animation to transition. For consistency across the full composition, I'm asking for a clear handmade stop motion effect, around 8 to 12 frames per second with tiny wiggles and slight rotations as the paper elements settle into place. For the audio, I'm keeping it simple. No music and no voiceover. Instead, I'm asking for subtle paper sliding, small paper taps, gentle cardboard wobble sounds, and soft handmade stop-motion movement sounds. For your first generation, I'd recommend creating it in a lower resolution first, just to check that the concept is working and the model understands the type of motion you're looking for. Regarding resolution, you have two options. You can generate in a lower resolution and upscale the video afterwards. But for this particular style, I actually found that upscaling didn't work as well because it made everything look a little too clean and polished, which took away from that rough textured paper aesthetic. So what I preferred to do was generate the first version in 480p to test the idea. Then once I was happy with the result, use the remix function and switch the resolution to 1080p, which is the highest option I could get from Seedance 2.0. For the next generation, it's important that the start frame is the same as the end frame from the previous generation. That helps make the transition between clips feel as seamless as possible. Then you just continue this process until you've animated the full composition, and eventually you should have a frame timeline that looks something like this. Once you're happy with everything, you can download the videos and bring them into your video editor. Now, one thing I really liked from the original design was the cutout style font, so I used Lovart's font generator to save it as a custom font for future projects. Just open Font Generator from the bottom toolbar, select the image from your canvas, and Lovart will generate a reusable font based on that style. Lovart is also currently offering 45% off when you sign up using the link in the description. So if you want to try this workflow for yourself, you'll find the link below. Now, let's take a look at the full short film we've made.
Flow state is that rare feeling where the work stops feeling like, well, work. At first, most creative work feels noisy. But flow usually starts when the noise is reduced to one clear task. It happens when the challenge is hard enough to hold your attention, but not so hard that it overwhelms you. When those two things line up, your attention starts to lock in. You stop watching the clock. You stop judging every move. You just follow the next step. And the more you move, the easier it becomes to keep moving. So accessing flow is not about waiting for motivation. It is about designing the conditions where focus has somewhere to go. And if you'd like to open the door to creating sound designs manually, this is where I'll show you how. Watch this video for the full tutorial and start building your own flow, one frame at a time.